Guys, so today we're gonna go now to the next element, which is HTML element. So that we have here, as you can see, an HTML element is defined by a start tag, some content, and an end tag. So we're gonna go through this element, and then after that, we're gonna take it to ChatGPT and DeepSeek so that it can give us more element. Yeah, so it can give us some insight also about more HTML element as well. So what is the HTML element? Is everything from the start tag to the end tag. As you can see, so here we call it tag name. So this is called tag. So you can give it any name that you want. And then we have example there, my first paragraph, my first heading, my first paragraph. And then we have, as you can see, that is a start tag, end tag, and then element content. So everything that is come between, we call them element content. Some HTML have no content, like the break. BR is stand for break element. These elements are called empty elements. So empty element do not have an end tag. And then we have nested HTML elements. So HTML elements can be nested. This means that element can contain other elements. All HTML document consists of nested HTML element. The following example contain 4 HTML elements. As you can see, we have HTML body, and then the heading and the paragraph. So this is the setup. So when you're setting up your HTML, the first thing is to have a doc type, document type, HTML, and then after that we have the start, the end, start, the end, start, end, start, end. So the HTML element is the root element, and it defines the all HTML documents. Here is the start tag and then end tag, and so forth for this one. Then inside the HTML element, there is a body element. So that's inside the HTML. So we have this one here. And the body element define the document body. So is a start tag there, and then we have our end tag there. And then inside the body tag, we're gonna have things like h1 and headings, and then we have paragraph and some other elements. So those other two things that we have here. So h1 element define the heading, and then this end, the start, the end, and then the p define the paragraph. So this is anything concerning about the element. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go now to AI. So tell us anything about HTML element for a beginner to understand. Okay. So in the meantime, while he's thinking, we're gonna go to DeepSeek also to ask the same thing. Then we compare the answer. Because of the two answers we have, the more understanding we're gonna have about the topic. So now what we have here. So what are the HTML elements? HTML, first of all, the processes, as you can see here, the thought process. So hypertext markup language is the standard language used to create web pages. It provides the basic structure of a site, which is enhanced and modified by other technology like CSS and JavaScript. So for beginner, understanding HTML is crucial because they are building blocks of any web page. Here is a beginner-friendly guide to HTML elements. So the system needs to think like that, and then after that, provide the structured element that you want to learn. So HTML elements are individual components that define different parts of a web page. They tell the browser how to display content such as text, images, links, and more. So as you can see, we did talk about opening tag, content, and then closing tag. And that's the example they give there. And then after that, we have some HTML elements do not wrap content and are self-closing. They don't need a separate closing tag. So we did have a break example here. As you can see, was the break example. We have a break example that was given here. So break example. We have another one which is image. That is also same thing. So there's no thing. So this one here, this is a stretch of HTML of no of empty tag, and inside for the image you put those attributes inside it. This is the way that you set up the image. And then we have basic HTML document structure. Every HTML document start with a basic structure. Here is example that you can see. You can see the doc type, HTML, open, close, and inside the HTML document, so we have the header, head, and then we have the body. So head and then body. You see, so head, you put anything that's a head, and then after a body is where you're gonna put the stuff here. So as you can see here, we did only talk about the element, but we talked about the head in the previous document. So we're gonna, yeah, so we have that. And then, so yeah, so there, we did not talk about the head, but you can see here, at least ChatGPT did give it. And then we have doc type, declare the document type and version of HTML. HTML, the root of lemma that wrap all content on the page. Head contains metadata information about the document such as title, character set, and link to style sheet. Title, set the title of the web page visible in the browser tab. And then we have the body, contains the content that display on the web page, including text, image, links, and more. So those are the elements that we have here. Let's compare another one. So as you can see, we have UL, OL. There's an ordered list, ordered list item. The other side we have H1 to H6, paragraph, span, anchor, image, div. As you can see, a generic content for grouping and styling block of content. So this one we're gonna see how we're gonna start to use it. Most of the time we use div. Header is for menu, top header, navigations, as you can see with nav, sections, article, aside, and footer. So all those elements, you're gonna understand them when we start building. We have form elements. Inside the form elements, we have form inputs, text area, button, and some other attributes, some other tags. So attribute in HTML element, attribute provide additional information about an element and are always included in the opening tag. They come in name, value, pairs. So here we're gonna talk a bit later about the attribute nicely, but when it comes to semantic element, semantic HTML, so use element that clearly describe their purpose. Those are the elements, but we're gonna talk about it nicely when we are setting up the stuff. But in the meantime, as you can see, HTML tags, this is the way that it works. You have the element defined, and then we have our document HTML, and then we're gonna have the header, the head, the body, and then the header for navigations. So do not confuse head and header. So this is the information that you're not gonna be able to see it from the front end. You only see the stuff from the front end that is inside the body. Yeah, anything outside the body is not visible from the front end. So we have the header where you put your navigations and logos. And then we have the main where you put your other content, and then we have footer where you put like 2025 company, all right, reserves, and other links. All right. So now, as you can check, we compare with DeepSeek. So always think about going through the thought process because we're gonna really help you to understand elements. The way that the tech I understand the element, the AI understand the element, you're also gonna understand it in your way nicely. So as you can see, this is just an example. Okay, the user is asking about HTML element for a beginner. Let me start by explaining what HTML is. I should mention that is the building block of web pages. Then move on to the element. Need to define what an element is, maybe with a simple example like a paragraph tag. wait, should I start with the structure of an element, text, content, attributes, right? The opening tag, content, blah, blah, attribute. So this is the thought process. So it's very important when you are learning, you must go through the thought process so that it's going to help you to start to understand the context outside the box. Yeah. So now we have what is the HTML, hypertext markup language, and then they explain here building blocks, the same way that we had with ChatGTP and W3schools. So we have all those elements there. So we're gonna compare what are the other stuff that we did not get from the ChatGPT and W3schools. We can see we have the stuff here. They add one thing, which is button. You can see there we have the button there. And here we talk about attributes. We're gonna talk about attribute later. And then here they talk about nice stuff, nested element. Element can be placed inside other elements. You see, so you have a paragraph, open and then close. Inside a paragraph, you can put the bold and certain elements. So that is we call it nested element. When you see, you put some other element inside, but there is certain element that you cannot, certain tag you cannot put inside the other tags. But those one you're gonna learn as we progress. So those are the items we have, break, and all the example. It's straightforward, and that's it. All right, thanks so much. If you like this video, click a thumbs up, and then I'm gonna proceed to the next element in the next video. Thank you.